been asking it all week. What's the motivation going back to Baltimore after the last trip there?
I mean, last time we were there, they beat us pretty bad. You know, I think we're a new team, a lot of different guys. So for us, it's just we want to go out there and display what we, you know, feel like we can do. I feel like last time we were there, it wasn't us offensively. It just felt like, you know, we were off schedule all game, playing from behind, not executing, drop balls, a lot of stuff that, you know, we feel like we can be better at. So we just want to go in there and play clean football, execute, communicate. It's gonna be a hostile environment. So it's gonna be good.
Nothing new, but you and Golf clicking at a super high level last week. What's the best attribute about him that's made you two get on the same level like you are?
It's a good question. I feel like, you know, this is going on to year 5, so I feel like we built, you know, every year I feel like it's a little bit better. But just talking to him, communicating with him, you know, now it's like we get the play call and we're not even talking about the route that I have. It's like, okay, I'm asked, like, I know what he's looking at first, if I'm the second read, third read, if I have time. There's so many more things that go into than just my route. So I feel like we've gotten to the level where it's beyond just, you know, my route and where he's throwing it. It's like reading coverages, knowing, you know, where the hole's going to be, if I can maybe adjust the route a little. We're talking all the time, and I think that's what, you know, keeps us on the same page.
Beyond the reps, I mean, what goes into cultivating that relationship and making it successful?
I mean, I think beyond the reps, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is the repetition, being with him for so long, talking with him, understanding what he likes, what he sees from, you know, from his perspective, because he's able to see it from kind of different view than I am when I'm out at receiver. He can see the whole picture. He's telling me things, giving me tips and reminders that, you know, cues that trigger him so that I can be ready for it. So we like to stay on the same page and just makes things easier for us.
Can you speak to that with I mean, there was a play, I guess, towards the end of the half. I was watching some of the tape, but I mean, like, it looked like they were in a cover 2, almost zone look, and you kind of went right in the hole between the linebacker and the corner who was covering you, and you used kind of a jab step to the outside to kind of create that space. But I mean, like, to understand that he's going to throw it to you in that zone, and you also to read the coverage. What does that, I mean, I guess, what does that take, even pre-snap, just that communication there?
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, repping it so many times. We run that play a lot. Certain looks, I feel like I said, we've done it so much that he knows already what I'm going to do. I feel like he's anticipating me breaking in already before I even do it. And so, like, it just helps him anticipate those, I feel like, where he doesn't have to, you know, on some routes I can either go right or left, I have a choice, but he already knows, you know, what I'm thinking. I know what he's seeing, what's going to happen, I feel like. And so it just makes it, you know, that much easier for us to connect.
How much is that? Because, I mean, again, you mentioned that you line up at the slot. So, I mean, the kind of the whole route tree is available to you. I mean, you know, and having those choice routes, I mean, how much does that just enhance, I guess, what the capability of that connection that you have with Jared? I mean, just the fact that basically the whole menu's on the table there.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a lot of stuff. I feel like in the slot, there's a lot of routes that you can run. Playing outside, I mean, moving me around, I think is big. But just being on the same page, that's the biggest thing. Going into each and every game, making sure we're talking about the plays that are in, the adjustments, the kills that we have, why he's killing it, what looks we're looking for. I think those are the biggest things.
What's the tiniest detail that we might not have even noticed that you improve most at? Whether it's, I don't know, I think Coach Johnny Mo said timing was like just so intricate.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared, what's like the tiniest detail that you most?
I think timing, I feel like me out wide by myself, I would say is the biggest thing going into this season. Like before half, the touchdown that I caught, doing more of that where I'm, you know, by myself, whether I'm running a slant, a fade, the route that I ran, you know, past weekend, just being on the same page, working the timing, because at the end of the day, I mean, I can still be covered, but a good ball and, you know, great placement by Jared can always beat the coverage. So I think, you know, we both understand that you don't always have to run the best route. DBs are also good in this league. They get paid to do what they do. So as long as we're on the same page, we feel like we can win more times than not.
A lot of big names in this Ravens secondary. What's the biggest challenge that they present to you this week?
They do a lot. I mean, first of all, they got a lot of good players. Their secondary, I mean, Kyle Hamilton's a beast. Marlon Humphrey, Roquan in the middle, leading the whole thing. They got a bunch of dogs over there on defense, so we just got to make sure we're on the same page as an offense. They show a lot of different looks. They're fast. They play hard. So we're gonna have to be on our P's and Q's, just with our adjustments. It's gonna be loud, so might not be able to hear. So our signals, whatever it is, got to be on the same page. But I think if we're all on the same page, we'll have a shot. But we got to get there. We still got some stuff to work on.
You mentioned Roquan and Hamilton; those guys cover the middle of the field pretty well. You guys really love to attack the middle of the field. So, what's the counterpunch to those guys?
I think for us, just doing what we do. I feel like every play is different. They might blitz one play, they might drop 8. We just got to be ready to adjust. First drive might not be what we expect. You get to the sideline, check the iPad and see what we can do from there. But at the end of the day, the game plan is going to be the game plan. There's not going to be much deviation from that. So if we go out there and just do what we do, I feel like we understand each other pretty well as an offense, especially in our run game. If we get that going, I feel like we're pretty good when we can get the run game going.
Jared, go ahead. Is there confidence in the group that you guys have to potentially win a shootout? That's what the game dictates.
Oh, 100%. I think we're all super confident in our. We are as an offense. We're confident in being able to put up points in any way, whether that's through the air, on the ground. If it takes us 12 plays, 15-play drive, or 2-play drive, either one is fine for us, as long as we score points. But we feel like we can put up points versus almost any team in this league if we do what we have to do: execute, take care of the ball, all the little things. But like I said, when you have a good defense going against a good offense, you never know what happens.
Considering what they have on offense, do you feel like the onus is on you to kind of, as an offense, to keep them off the field a little bit and be able to stretch those drives, maybe stretch time of possession a little bit here?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. The onus is on me. I don't know. I go out there and I'm not really in control of what play is called. I go out there and make the play, and I try to score whenever I can, unless there's a situation where it's 2 minute, 4 minute, whatever, and a half. But regular game, I'm trying to go out there, catch the ball, run my route, and try to put points on the board.
You played a lot of big games with this franchise, but this is going to be your first one this season at night. Do the juices get flown a little bit extra whenever the lights come on and the whole country's watching?
I think so. Prime time, I feel like I definitely love primetime games. Being the only game on, it's always a lot of fun. I feel like everyone's watching, get to put on a show, everyone gets to see it. So it's going to be fun at night. Baltimore environment is going to be crazy. Monday night, I can't wait.
There's so many nicknames floating around for Tesla.
I call him Tesla.
What?
Tesla. That's what I call him.
You're not taking any of the nicknames?
I never heard no nickname. What nickname? Oh no, I ain't heard that one.
Snowdell Beckham.
No way.
I never heard none of these. I might try to call him one of those on some funny timing, but I call him Tesla.
Okay. Well, I'll check back in a couple weeks and see how it works. Hey, we talked about this a little bit this week. A lot of those runs last week were to the perimeter, so that means a lot of the dirty work was coming from your group, from the tight ends. Why is that so important across the board for you guys?
I think it's really the main reason is because when you running a route and you know who blocking for you, the O-line and the running back have to be in protection. So we just gotta take that same thing and add it to the run game. So when they running, we making sure we on our best blocking down the field for them, and everything works together. So we just block for each other, and that's part of the game.
What's a worse feeling, dropping a pass or not holding?
I would say dropping a pass. Yeah, I would say dropping a pass for sure.
Yeah, Gibbs can make that guy miss.
Yeah.
Were you motivated to get one back after Scotty was asking you? I thought you were fast.
Yeah, that was a play I thought I should have scored on for sure. But things happen, Next time I promise I'm gonna score on those.
When you look at the film of Baltimore's defense? What do they do well in the back end?
I think it's real aggressive, They got real good players that I watch. I got drafted with guys who came in before me that I watched. Got some good tells of what they do a lot, and I think it should be a pretty good game. With our offense, how we are, and how their defense play, and we just got to attack the right things and execute when it's time.
What do you remember from that Baltimore game in 2023?
None. We lost. That was it for real.
That was a weird game for you, though. 6 targets, no catches. Like, what? How much, when you have a day like that, how much does it motivate you?
I think it was more of, if you look at those targets, those was probably more in the end of the game. We was already down 30-0 probably, but I think it was more of me getting back into I think I was just coming back off of maybe a suspension or injury, so it was more just, trying to get me back in motion. Still, I got to catch those passes, but it's no excuses.
How much different of a player do you feel like now?
I feel like a way different player. I feel like I get better every day, every year. That's my goal, though. I never want to be the same on the field as I was yesterday. I just want to get better at routes or releases or anything, telling off of what the team going into the week we've got to play. I'll work a certain thing going against these DBs or what I see on film. So, I'm just trying to get better every day, really. I feel like I'm a way different player from 2 years ago, though.
I think we all saw that evolution this offseason, particularly some of those routes where you're coming back, those hard cuts. Scotty said a lot of that was lower body strength. Can you just explain maybe some of the work you put in this offseason to get stronger there?
Y'all ain't know I squat 600. No, I'm just saying. I do a lot of Vertimax work, and I do a lot of explosive twitch work and twitch games. So, in the off season, I don't focus on certain things, but I do full body, day to day. And I just work on, getting stronger. I know that's my thing. I'm a little guy on the field. A lot of people way more than me try to push me around and use that as their advantage. So, I just try to get stronger in all my ways I can. And I came back this year, a little stronger.
You're not going toe-to-toe with Montgomery on the squat rack yet?
Nah, not yet. Oh no.
From the perspective of an offensive player, can you explain the strain that Brian Branch puts on an offense?
Man, I think he's a great player, excellent player. Somebody who a quarterback, an offensive coordinator, head coach always got to keep the eye out for. He everywhere. He could play a lot of positions, and I think he's one of the best, if not the best, at his position in the league right now. And he's so young, got a long way to play, a lot to go. He's just a ball hawk. Everywhere the ball at, you're gonna see 32. And I kind of got to see that before we started playing in blue. We was in this, but it's always exciting. Watching him, even in practice, he don't take no reps off. He always try to be the best. If he lose a rep, you probably won't even hear him say a word for the rest of the day because he trying to win everything, and that's good about him. I like that about him for sure.
Do you have any extra special touchdown celebrations planned for Monday Night Football?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't even that touchdown celebration last week. I didn't know what to do, so I just did that. So I don't know. I probably gotta think of something. Tell somebody to send me something. I'll do something.
Today, Johnny Mo said that he rewatched the film from Chicago twice.
Mm-hmm.
He usually doesn't have time to do that, but he made time to make sure it was real, that what he saw was real.
Mm-hmm.
Why was it important for you guys to feel that sense of the offense taking a step again?
It's probably just a little confidence boost, even though, I wouldn't even say we need that. It just got us back on track, a winning track. We came off week 1 losing to a team that we felt like we should have won. We just didn't execute enough. We got to execute. And, the next week we came out and executed. So, I feel like that make a coach happy when, he calling those plays and he see, I got guys out there who, getting active, getting busy. So, I think it was a confidence boost for, the whole building. We that's all we try to do every week is get a win, confidence boost for the next opponent. It could help us the next week, every day, just thinking we just got better. We just got better last game. We just got better last practice. We just got better going over this film and things like that. So, I think it helped us everywhere.
The Ravens game, the last time this team played. I mean, I've heard about, the performance. A lot of guys had that bad taste in their mouth, right? And, we don't want to experience that again. So we want to go down there and, win a game. That's the most important.
What's the challenge with facing a guy like Lamar Jackson who can beat you with his arm, an underrated part of his game sometimes, and with his legs?
Just to read our keys, man. They do a lot of shifts, motions. Just read our keys, man. Keep them in the pocket, and plaster. Cause he do a lot of things by, extending plays. So we just gotta, read our keys, man. They got a hell of a run game. Of course, he's a great quarterback, so gotta do whatever we can to slow him down.
You assess your game over the first 2 games?
Say it again.
How have you assessed yourself over the first 2 games yourself?
I think I did pretty well. Ain't really get too much actions, but I can't fall asleep, man. I gotta, stay on my keys, continue doing my job at a high level, and whenever my numbers call or my players that I make, I just gotta make it. That's my expectations. Continue being the best team that I could be.
Is this one of those games where you guys have to be prepared maybe to be in coverage for a while just because of
Definitely.
what Lamar can do?
Definitely, man, because he's a guy that, like I said before, he extend plays. So you gotta have great eyes, man, and be able to plaster. Stay on our guy.
How do you practice against that?
I mean, we got Cunningham came in, so we got a good look at that, so he's preparing us, so we could be able to prepare for Lamar, at least give us a good look. Lamar is a once-in-a-generation talent, but, Cunningham has been doing a great job.
And he said that AG told him a few years ago that kind of like the tone on defense is set by the cornerbacks and how they tackle. Have you ever heard that before? Like, is that you? Where have you heard it, and how much pride do you take in that?
I've heard it here, and I heard it by AG. Shep, he reiterates it, and Coach Shea, he does a great job of just amplifying that, and that's the truth. I mean, if you have a secondary that doesn't tackle, you can kind of measure how tough the team is. So when me and DJ go out there, and even Amik, we just pride ourselves in saying, hey, man, it's not going to be us. Like, we're not going to show up on tape at the team that won't put our nose in there, or we don't want to just show up as a team that looks soft physically.
Towards the end of the game, we saw DJ kind of like, I think it was one of Chicago's running backs, one guy planted him. When you guys go back and watch that on film the next day, like, how much did that fire everyone up? I
mean, it didn't fire me up because I see the guy do it every day. I know what type of player he is, and I know what he's made of. Like, DJ's one of those guys where he's 5'8", but he plays 6'8", and it motivates me. But I also see it, like, right now. Like, I think he's probably in the cold tub or the hot tub just every day, not getting too high, not getting too low. And just even being in the NFL for 8 years at 5'9", I mean, that's what it takes. So
when you first heard that philosophy from AG about secondary participation, what did you think about? Because obviously you came from an esteemed program as well, but did that change your mindset at all about the role?
Not at all, because, I mean, even at Alabama, just playing in the SEC, like, that's one of the things that the SEC prides itself on, playing big boy physical football, whether that's 21 personnel, 23G, like, just downhill running, and the corners have to tackle. So
this, matchup is going to be big boy physical football.
Yeah.
You haven't played the Ravens in your professional career, but what has been the reception around the room? What are you hearing from the guys who either played in the last matchup or just played the Ravens otherwise?
Just focus on the team. Like, when you're getting fatigued, or you're just thinking about, like, man, I gotta give a little bit more. Just think about your teammate giving a little bit more. Like, the team, and putting the team before everybody and everything.
Terrion, if you know the standard that you have for yourself as a corner, how would you assess the way that you've met those standards or not through 2 games so far this season?
I would just say just growing every day, and then the consistency. Like, going out there, like, I don't grade myself based on how does it look. Like, when I sit down there with my coach and analyze the tape and really break it down, put yourself in coverages and think about how you could have won your one-on-one, like, that's how I grade it. And I would just say, like, going throughout, just continuing to improve each and every game.
DJ was saying yesterday that he loves the way you guys have tackled and run support, but feels like the coverage could be a little bit tighter. I guess, what would be your assessment of the way you guys have covered so far?
I would just say it's early.
Yeah.
Like, I was even talking to him, like, just getting used to playing with each other. And then, like, when we go out there and make mistakes, and our coach reiterates it, like, you have to go out there as a DB and you have to make your opponent beat you. Like, in the NFL, it's a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, a lot of stacks, and a lot of eye candy just to try to get you off your game. And when you really break down the tape, a lot of times we were getting beat by alignment or just communication. So when we go out there, we want to line up and really make other guys beat us. So
Go back to that first quarter in Green Bay, and felt like you were all over it. Is that the level that you expect to
course.
be at every single game?
Of course. Yeah, I hold myself to a high standard, and I know that my teammates hold me to a high standard. And my main thing is just going out there and trying to be the same every day and every game, and just continuing to grow.